What's up, everybody? This is today's project, and we are on this little lot here today. It's almost like a yard lot. The plan here is to get rid of all of this. It's just a big pile of leaves and pine straw and some logs and brush, and that's a pretty big pile too. So I got the Mini and the dump truck, and I had to kind of finagle the dump truck in here through here. That was a little tight quarters, but I got it in here. I'm gonna have to basically backload it through there, but I think I can make this work. It's probably every bit of 3 loads with the dump truck, maybe 4, I don't know. We'll just see how it kind of goes in there, maybe less if it goes in there really well. So, and then after we get all that out of here, the plan is to basically kind of brush cut this lot, bush hog it down. I'll probably bring the Kubota over here, and I'll take the pole saw. We'll clean this front up here with the pole saw, and then the rest of this back here, walk around here, this will all back here get mowed down with the Kubota. There's really not much here. It's pretty small, so there's really not even that much growing here, really just some vines and vine mass and some weed and stuff. So but first we got to get this stuff out of here, make this front cleaned up. So let's get started. Cord kind of caught my attention right there. That banged the damn boom on the back of the dump truck. Idiot. It's a telephone, old telephone wire. I don't know what's doing there. Okay, so that went fairly well. Digging down into this, this is some really nice kind of like compost, almost compost kind of mulch in here. This is really nice stuff. I might actually save some of this, take a load of it to the farm for the garden. My dad would love to have this for the garden, so can't take it all because I'm not driving 45 miles, but I think maybe the last load I take out of here I'll save and take back to the farm. The rest of this will go to the landfill. Yep, dump truck's full. So trying to fill it up as much as I can to make sure I'm as efficient with this as possible. So we'll get this going and let's get to the landfill. Landfill finally got the new weigh-in station done, and it looks pretty good, so we'll get weighed and see how much we had. So what's it say? We topped out at 2.56 tons. Jeez, it doesn't seem like it was that much. Damn, that did not seem like that was 2.5 tons, but oh well, back to the job. Okay, so we got this emptied out over here on the backside of this field on the farm, and Kelly and I kind of had a little compost pile. You can kind of see the edge of it here, kind of going here. Something dug into it, but it was mostly just sand and leaves that we had collected. These oak leaves from raking around the yard we'd been bringing back here and just mixing in some sand with it. But now I got this really good stuff here. So now that I've really got enough, this is probably with that and this is probably 12 yards or so in here. I'm gonna get some lime and lime the shit out of this and just cover it up with a tarp and let it sit. Try to keep it wet as I can, you know, maybe bring some water over here twice a week with the bucket, and just try to keep this wet and limed, and this should be some really good compost, hopefully by next spring, so we can use in the garden. So really cool. I'm glad I was able to save that and bring it out here to the farm and make use out of it instead of taking it to the landfill and having to pay a fortune for them to just use it in the landfill, because that's all they do with this stuff, is they just recycle it and use it to cover up all the trash in the landfill. So and you pay them, it's like $20 a ton. It's like, good gosh. So yeah, so we'll get this taken care of, and I'll get back to the job and get the Kubota over there and get it mowed down. Okay, so that cleaned up pretty good. I didn't film getting the second load out of here. I got this in 2 loads, so I was able to take the second load to the farm, get it dumped out, and I got some footage of that. So, but all this cleaned up in here pretty well. Laid down, I kind of ran it over with the Mini and kind of matted it down, and it'll eventually get leaves and pine straw, cover it back over again. So got the Mini out of here, got the Kubota here, but first I'm going to clean up this front area with the hedge trimmer. And if you guys are interested in kind of, you know, getting into this business or whatnot, this is a huge part. I never go anywhere without this tool. This is a huge part of what I do. This is a Stihl KM 131R, and I'm using this big long hedge trimmer attachment on it, and this thing is just awesome. Really helps me kind of get in and around trees and stuff, in between places where I can't either get this thing or the brush cutter head on the MTL on the skid steer, and getting around places, you know, like around roads and stuff like that, and sidewalks and stuff. So and then this thing, it's also detachable, so you can put different heads on here. Also have the chainsaw head. If you see my 100-hour review on the MTL, I kind of go over that. So you just unscrew this and then stick the chainsaw part in. So then you have like a small pole saw. But I mostly use this hedge trimmer. It cuts 99.9% of everything that I need to cut with it. The saw is okay, but it doesn't work very well on vines and stuff like this. And we have a lot of that here where I cut a lot of vines and vine mat overgrowth, or vines around trees and stuff like that. So this thing is awesome. And I'm a big Husqvarna guy, but this still is the bomb. I've really enjoyed using it. So it's a big part of what I do. And if you're looking to get into this, this should be part of your toolbox as much as anything. So let's get this front cleaned up, and then we'll start mowing this down. Okay, so that mowed down pretty nice. Got it all munched and crunched. I don't really have to go back there, but I saw a green snake over here somewhere. I don't know where he went. One of those little green garden snakes. I don't think I ran him over. I think he got out of there, went into a hole somewhere right there. But yeah, all of this stuff's in between these trees or next to these trees. I'm gonna have to get that with the hand trimmer. So we'll get the still out again and go back around these trees, and in between these trees get this stuff, clean all this up, and let me get all that cleaned up, and we'll do one more final shot of what this looks like after I get all that knocked down, and this and that over there, and that, and that agglomeration right there, that needs to come down too. So let's get this cleaned up and we'll do a final shot. Honestly, the Kubota is not really the best tool for this job. Neither really is the skid steer, considering the highway's right there and you got houses there and you got a house there, considering how much that thing just throws stuff everywhere out the front end. So this really isn't a good job for that, but you do what you can with what you have. So honestly, one of those little like push mowers, little push, you know, brush mowers would have been perfect for this job. I don't have one, so you use what you got and you do the best you can. So, but this did the job. It's a little big in here. This bucket tends to catch on trees. If you're sitting in the cab, the way these loader arms work right here, you can't see this corner of this bucket or that corner. So when you're driving next to a tree or up to a tree, you think you're good, and then, you know, it'll catch this corner right here and just stop, and you're like, damn it. You know, I say swear words when I do that. So you have to be very, very mindful of that. Also, when you're backing up in and around trees, it'll, you know, you can catch a tree right here backing up too. So I do like the bucket. I used it on a job yesterday mowing to move some stumps out of the way. So don't get me wrong, it has its uses, but when you're in tight confines like this around trees and stuff, and you're mowing around this stuff, yeah, this thing can be a pain and gets in the way. So just something to think about if you're planning on buying one of these for doing brush mowing. This one actually, it comes off, you can detach it, but I've never really wanted to mess with it because I like it on here and I just kind of deal with the headache. But if you're thinking about buying one of these, I honestly, you know, for brush mowing, I would suggest you get one that can be removed, you know, at your convenience. You know, if you have a job like this and you want to take it off, or you're doing a lot of jobs like this through like a summer or whatever, and the bucket's not handy to have, get one that's removable. You don't want one that you can't remove and then get out here and you're catching trees everywhere and you're swearing and breaking stuff. So but let's get this cleaned up and we'll get out of here. Okay, so all the trimming's done, and all that up in there is down and trimmed up and munched down. I kind of take the edge and I'll just kind of do like that. Once I get everything on the ground, just kind of munches it up a good bit, and then once it dries out and turns brown, it'll just go right down into the ground. And this all cleaned up in here really well. Got all those vines down right there, got them munched and crunched, and then all the way back, so you can basically see pretty much all the way to the back of the lot now. Cleaned out that area between those trees there, so it's actually cleaned up really, really well. Now that it's mowed and got all those vines down. We have serious problems with vines here, especially in this area. They get on these oaks and they crawl up these pines and they just make a mess of everything. So devil's weed, a lot of it's devil's weed and Virginia creeper. So you gotta be careful with that Virginia creeper. It's almost as bad as poison ivy. You handle that stuff with bare hands and you'll break out something fierce. So, but yeah, it's all down, all cut up. This is a dusty hole in here. You hear me clearing my throat. My voice sounds kind of rough. It's just so dusty in here. The Kubota is just covered with like a layer of it. You see it right there. So this thing will have to be washed. I don't know, maybe the drive home the air will just blow it all off. I don't know. I would be that lucky. So anyway, another project down, another project in the books. Looks good, and we'll be on to the next one. I'll see you guys later.